General Hospital sees Parry Shen's possible exit this week as Brad Cooper throws Portia Robinson, Brooke Kerr, to the wolves. He may turn around and leave Port Charles. General Hospital spoilers. Brad Cooper corners Portia Robinson. Recently, we saw Brad Cooper, Parry Shen, gloating to Portia that he has this new leverage over her. Brad told Portia he knows she drugged Drew Kane Quartermain, Cameron Matheson, with the ketamine that he stole from the pharmacy. So Brad thinks he's got Portia right where he wants her. But then she was quick to clap back on Brad. No, it wasn't her that poisoned him and drugged him. She says it was Brad that drugged Drew, not her. Portia said no one would ever believe an ex-con like Brad over her. She's not wrong, except for Drew. Portia has anticipated Brad's sketchy move, and she has outplayed him. Brad Cooper's breaking point, revenge, and a bombshell for Drew Kane that infuriated Brad, who left in a huff. Then he just spotted Lucas Jones, Van Hansis, with his new love interest, Marco, Rios, Adrian, and Chondo, getting all cute, flirty, feeding each other chips. So then Brad just kind of mentally snapped. You could tell he marched straight to Drew's room at General Hospital, where he was getting some IV hydration. Brad dropped the bombshell on Drew that he knows exactly who drugged him. Brad said he'll tell Drew if he makes it worth his while. Of course, Congressman Cutthroat's top suspect may be Tracy Quartermain, Jane Elliott, because shaking hands with her at the grill was one of the last clear things Drew recalls from that night. As Brad knows, Drew is loaded. He's plenty rich. Plus, he is desperate to know who is behind drugging him with ketamine, which intended to ruin his congressional career and his relationship with Willow Tate, Caitlin McMullen. So, I am betting Brad's going to get that big payday he wants from Drew. Portia and Nina Reeves' plan crumbles. Drew gains the upper hand. Of course, we all knew that Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watros, and Portia's big plan was never going to work out in their favor. Already, Drew has Willow pretty much convinced of his innocence despite Nina continuing to push and try and get Willow to think badly of her boyfriend. Knowing who's to blame will help Drew play that victim card to Willow and to the voting public. But it's most important to Drew that he solidifies Willow's faith and loyalty to him. General Hospital spoilers. Brad's life-changing decision and Portia's exposure. Spoilers for this week say on Tuesday, Drew gets critical info. Then on Thursday, General Hospital spoilers say Brad makes a life-changing choice. So I will bet you that Drew is so desperate, he's going to pay Brad what he asks. Then the lab guy is going to throw Portia under the bus hard, because she threatened to blame this all on Brad. This is totally self-defense because of what Portia said she would do. So after Brad gets his hefty payoff from Drew, the big question is, what is that life-changing decision? Is Brad Cooper leaving Port Charles? Parry Shen's GH status. I suspect Brad may hightail it out of Port Chuck. We know Parry Shen doesn't ever stay on General Hospital for too long. Brad comes back for little arcs here and there, but Parry Shen is on recurring, not contract status at the ABC soap opera. He's got other stuff going on, just like when Brad came back after his Pentonville prison release. Remember, that was kind of a short thing. He wound up working for his aunt again, Lady Gangster Selena Wu, Lydia Look. Then she pushed back, and then he went to the hospital. All that back and forth, but he never sticks around. But that was around the time that Brad poisoned Peter August, Wiz Ramsey, if you remember. Then Brad left again, and then he came back for this arc. Brad's motivation to leave. Avoiding Portia and Lucas. So this is not just Brad getting away from Portia and avoiding fallout from blowing up her life, which, to be honest, I think she's kind of got coming, right? But Brad's got other reasons to leave Port Charles after watching his ex, Lucas and Marco flirting and all that chemistry after Lucas made it crystal clear he is never getting back with Brad. The writing is on the wall, and sticking around and seeing Lucas and Marco's emerging love story growing right in Brad's face, that'd be uncomfortable. Brad and Drew team up. Exposing Portia's crimes, worst case, If Drew demands Brad make an official statement to Max Scorpio, John J. York, down at the PCPD, we could see Drew saying, "Okay, Brad's a witness." He came forward. "I don't want him prosecuted. I want the real perpetrator, the mastermind, prosecuted." Because after all, Portia forced Brad to steal the ketamine because she threatened his job. Surely Brad and Drew can hand Mac the info on Portia rigging Heather Weber's Allie Mills blood test to show a pattern of behavior by exposing Portia other criminal activities using the hospital. They could make it out that Brad was her victim as well as Drew. Portia's downfall, arrest, blackmail, and a reality check. For sure, Brad had no idea what Portia planned to do with the ketamine, just that she was demanding he get it. But once Brad saw the video of Drew acting all crazy, Brad figured it out pretty fast. Once Drew gets the info from Brad, he can turn Portia into the police. That way, Drew can publicly vindicate himself by seeing Portia arrested and prosecuted. Or Drew could flip the script and triple down on blackmailing Portia, or else he'll have her arrested. For me, kind of hoping Drew has her arrested. Not because I like him, but because Portia needs a little reality check. Brad's escape plan. Money, freedom, and avoiding trouble, so Brad may get off scot-free in all this, take Drew money, and run. There's nothing tethering him to Port Charles. Plus, it's unlikely Brad would keep his job at General Hospital after this. Portia would make Brad's life a living hell as long as he's there. Leaving town with a pile of cash is preferable to dealing with Portia, facing possible arrest, and going back to Pentonville and having to deal with his dangerous aunt, Selena. Portia's nightmare begins as Brad exits Port Charles. So things are looking increasingly bad for Portia because she's guilty as sin. It would make perfect sense to Drew that Portia was behind his drugging, and it may not take Drew long to realize that Nina was also involved. So Portia's new nightmare may just be starting while Brad takes the money and gets the heck out of Dodge. He's already the town pariah for his past antics. Even if Portia takes the fall, it could come out that Brad was part of it and he actually stole the drug, so he wouldn't keep his job. People would glare at him. Just more of the same mischievous. If Lucas hadn't already said he's done with Brad for good, then this whole thing would ice the ketamine cake. Bottom line, Brad is better off leaving Port Charles. There's not much here for him. Wait and see. Will Parry Shen exit General Hospital? Brad Cooper's future. As much as I love him, and I do, you guys know I like the villains. He's a very flawed guy who doesn't want to be villainous, but it somehow always winds up that way. This week could be Parry Shen's final episodes of General Hospital as Brad Cooper. At least for now. I don't think forever, but for now, he may run. Brad may just toss a grenade at Portia's life and run after everything explodes, but before the smoke clears. And I, for one, cannot wait.